Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with Golden Opportunities Coaching. Welcome to those of you who are new. Welcome back to those of you who are seasoned veterans of what we do around here. We break down the ideas of social and psychological impact, and we try to do that in a way that doesn't insult your intelligence, makes things simple but educational for you. If you like what you hear, please comment, subscribe, like the video, share with your friends on social media. All that good stuff helps us out a great deal. Anyway, today we're going to discuss, and just so you know, with the start of a new month, we have a new release schedule. We're going to try to get at least 2, if not 3 audios out a day, but the goal is at least 2 a day. So that's the goal over the next month. Help us out with that. In any event, the first thing we're going to discuss today is signs of higher intelligence. Everyone likes to think they're smart, right? I mean, who wants to wake up and say, gee, I'm dumb? Dumb, I'm dumb. Anyway, nobody wants to feel that way. But there's signs of higher intelligence that a lot of times we overvalue. Now, there's 2 forms of intelligence. There's emotional intelligence, which is knowing the feelings and thoughts and emotions of other people. And then there's intelligence quotient, or IQ, which is more book-related or factual intelligence. A combination of these 2 things can be really, really helpful when trying to become a well-rounded person. So we're going to run through some things that show you might have higher intelligence in one or both areas. There's about, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about 8 of these that we can go through over the next few minutes. And so the first thing that shows you might be of higher intelligence is that you are willing and focused on learning. You're focused on growth. You're focused on trying to improve yourself in every way. You're focused on the intake and dissemination of information. So intake of information, simply put, is the, hey, I can learn new things. I can grow. I can focus on understanding new things. Now, how you learn doesn't matter. Some people are visual learners. Some people are auditory learners. Some people are hands-on learners. Some people are tactile learners. Me, I'm an auditory and I'm an auditory learner first and foremost. Matter of fact, if you tell me to read a book, I'm going to look at you like you have 3 heads. If you tell me to listen to a book, I'll do it the same day you ask me. So knowing your learning style will impact how much you're willing to learn. Um, and so it's really good to do a learning style assessment, which I do with clients on a regular basis. So if that's something you're interested in, please feel free to reach out. Secondly, you can anticipate or understand the feelings of another person without them having to say much. Now, this is not speaking of being psychic or highly intuitive in a kind of Star Wars or Star Trek kind of way. This is talking about being able to read between the lines. You can understand a person's feelings from them saying a few things, a few words to a few sentences. You can fill in the blanks. You can kind of, if you find yourself finishing other people's sentences, if you find yourself asking questions that further a conversation within the first 30 to 90 seconds of a conversation, if you are the type of person who looks at things and says, okay, I bet you feel this way, or you can make educated guesses based on your knowledge of human nature, you might be highly intelligent or of higher intelligence. Another thing to consider: creative problem solvers are usually more intelligent. Now, this can be problematic for some because the inverse of this is you're always looking for the problem before you enjoy your life. So in other words, you're the type of person who is going to walk into a room and they're going to say, hey, we're having rotisserie chicken. And you're going to say, okay, are there enough plates? Is there enough silverware? Does anybody have a choking hazard? You're going to run through a checklist probably within about 2 to 5 minutes of everything that could go wrong. And then you're going to from there, you're going to create the ideal environment. So a person who's highly intelligent is protective first, and they endeavor to prevent drama, they endeavor to prevent chaos, they endeavor to prevent danger, they endeavor to prevent emotional discomfort, and it comes naturally, so it's instinctual. Now, lots of people have the ability to be creative and protective when they're thinking about it, But a highly intelligent person really doesn't have to think about it. It comes as like a second nature to them. It's almost a difference in how the synapse in their brain is wired. Think of it like a Rubik's cube. They're looking for challenges to solve when they enter a situation where most of us, the vast majority of people of average intelligence, look at a problem only when it's presented. Um, there's a lot of people who are able to kind of go, all right, wait a second, this could be a problem. Let's fix this before it becomes a problem. And these are really useful people to have on a team, especially in a work-related setting. Second, or next, so a highly intelligent person can differentiate from their emotional state and a person's opinion. And this is huge. A lot of people of lower intelligence tend to live through their emotions to their own detriment. Now, notice I picked my words carefully there. There is absolutely nothing wrong with living through your emotions. We're given emotions as indicators of either a reason to celebrate if they're positive emotions, or a reason to change things if they're negative emotions. Absolutely nothing wrong with living through emotions as a concept. However, when one lives through their emotions to their own detriment, that is, they act from their emotional place before thinking, before reasoning, before running things through a logic filter, this can get people in trouble. These are people with severe anxiety challenges. These are people with severe anger issues. These are people who might be considered by the psychological community borderline because their emotions flip and flop and flip and flop. Now, the belief of someone such as myself is that all of these things can be eventually rewired if a person is dedicated to the process of it. Now, it doesn't happen overnight, and if anybody tells you it does, run away from them as fast as you can. But a person can rewire how their brain interprets information, and can rewire to being more accepting of other viewpoints. Now, here's the interesting thing. The more accepting a person is of other viewpoints, the more likely they are to come up with alternative viewpoints, blending both sides, and come up with a third alternative. We can notice that in our political elections here in the States, and probably in many countries. Many countries are a two-party system, and the majority of citizens say, I don't like either party. And so a highly intelligent person would take the strengths of both parties and formulate a third party that has both strengths and covers both weaknesses. So the idea is a highly intelligent person is going to see all sides of an argument or a disagreement and then amalgamate them together into something new and fresh. So, a highly intelligent person is always looking to improve themselves. They're big into self-development. They're big into maybe what the world would consider self-help. They're big into personal reflection and personal growth. Highly intelligent people realize they don't know everything. Matter of fact, there are some days where they feel like they don't know anything. And so what they will do is, if they're caught off guard emotionally, if they are caught off guard by a situation, if they have a disagreement, they'll go and they'll research how to better the quality of their life, better the quality of their communication skills, better the quality of how they're approaching things, so that they don't have to repeat the same experience twice. Highly intelligent people tend to be experiential people who value experiences more than they do quite often security or routine. And so if a person is highly intelligent and they feel trapped in a situation, or they feel like they're kind of in Groundhog Day, they're going to go out of their way to learn how to behave differently. And the last thing that's really important, and I think sometimes understated, a highly intelligent person knows how to adapt and land on their feet. So these are people that are really good in crisis. These are people that are really good problem solvers. These are people you might want to have if you go to like a murder mystery kind of thing. If they're on your team, they're going to be the ones that come up with solutions or out of the box thinking. They're going to be the ones that are sitting there saying, "Have you thought about what if? Why not?" These are folks who ask more questions than they give information. because they're always adapting how they relate to the rest of the world based on the needs of the people or situations in front of themselves. So this is extremely helpful. For those that are new, I am Scott Golden, life coach, and if you would like a session, please feel free to DM me on Twitter at PO Perception or shoot me a DM here on YouTube. We are running through the relaunch of the country here in the U.S. We are running a discount reconnection coaching price of $50 per session, and if you start, you are locked in during the duration of our coaching relationship to that fee. In other words, every session that you purchase is at that fee. Now, this does not apply to bulk purchases. Sometimes that's even deeper discounted, but it does apply to single session rates. And for folks that have asked, because I get a couple DMs about this, if you have encountered me on other coaching platforms and you have not worked with me privately, or you have worked with me privately, but you have not done so through this medium. In other words, you've used my services, but you're not in the middle of an agreement right now. This sale does apply to you as well. And one other thing, we are doing a referral bonus program where if you refer a person who becomes a client, you will get discounts on any follow-up sessions that you may schedule. In any event, I encourage you keep your feet on the ground, your mind in the moment. Until next time, everybody.